All right, I am live. Man, I have not done this in a very, very long time. But I'm here and I'm happy to hang out with you guys. Um, yeah, man, this is so cool. I need to start doing live more often on YouTube. I don't do it that often, but I'm happy that, and I'm here a couple minutes early, so I'm giving folks a little time to come on in. And Crystal, hi. Thank you for joining in. So we are talking about Power Rangers everything. And I thank you for joining in with me tonight. But man, there's a lot. There's been so much news that's come out about Power Ranger comics, Power Rangers toys, and then I have a little announcements of my own for other stuff that's going to be coming on my channel. So number one, let's just kick it off with the comics. Um, Man, Boom Studios, it's been a while. So obviously if you follow my channel, you know that I review the Boom Studios Power Ranger comics. And so what we have? Mighty Morphin, we have Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, and then you have crossover stuff, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers all together. So all of that has been put on hold because of some mysterious thing that's going on in this world. I don't know what it could be, but something's going on in this world where places have closed down and publications aren't putting out comics and you can't go to your local comic book shop. Whatever the case may be, I don't know what's going on in the world right now, but it's caused a bit of a halt in me doing comic book reviews. So, I had to get my priorities straight. I don't know what it could be. I have no idea, but something in the world going on right now has caused a bit of a halt in, the comic book world, per se. But thankfully, there has been a little bit of a release of dates. I know Ranger Board posted a little bit about this. I seen some of the artists and authors who are in Boom Studios who are working on Power Rangers who have posted about this. And we have official dates as far as the return of these comics, and that starts this month. So I believe the 27th of this month, May, we will have Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers. That's coming back. So just be expecting that this month, and the review from myself. So if you don't follow these comics or you want to get the laydown on it, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. And by the way, Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, another interesting thing about that, it's coming to an end. So, we have the Go-Go series and then you have Mighty Morphin. They both coincide. Go-Go is kind of like focuses on the team in their earlier times, where Mighty Morphin is kind of like, I feel like, the present time. Or I don't think that's fair to say anymore. It's kind of like Mighty Morphin is more so after, Shattered Grid. It's after Shattered Grid. And then Go-Go is, in the team's earlier years. So yeah, Go-Go is coming to an official end. I don't know if that's this month or in the next month to come or whatnot, because I can't remember how many issues we have left. But that is coming to an official end, so that's something to look forward to in terms of its conclusion. Because I feel like those books really have grown on me more. Where before, back in the day, I used to be more into the Mighty Morphin books. And then, Go-Go has picked up its momentum. So I'm curious to see how it concludes. And then, yeah, with all the comic books returning, that does include the crossovers. So like I said, Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'll have that coming back all in June. So the rest of the comic books will be coming back in June, which would be crazy. But, there's still more news, man. It's crazy. Like, you have Ranger Slayer. She's getting her own comic book series. Lord Draken is getting like a small mini comic book series, which I can't wait for. That's going to be crazy. I cannot wait to read that and review that on my channel. So Lord Draken and Ranger Slayer, they're getting their own series, which is cool. And anything in their world, I think is going to be really, really cool. 51 to, what do you mean? I don't know. I don't understand your question. Are you saying I'm 51? Do I look 51 to you? I don't have that much gray hair, okay? I'm not that old. I was born in 1992, okay? I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. I'm just kidding. But yeah, a lot of crazy comic book news. And aside from that, if you are a Time Force fan, Boom Studios a little while, they did post, that there's this new Time Force graphic novel that's going to be coming out. So I don't think it's like a series, but it's more so just a book. Um, so that's something to look forward to. I can't wait for that as well because I'm a huge Time Force fan, and it seems like this new book. I can't remember the title of it. If any of you guys know, post in the comments. Let me know what that title is. Again, I knew it was on the top of my head, and I just forgot. But anyway, it's supposed to pick up on Jin and the Red Rangers relationship, so to speak. So I think that'll be really interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much all the comic news. Aside from that, there's a lot of stuff going on with Power Rangers. Number one, I was able to be a part of a really cool panel today with a bunch of buddies and other just amazing, YouTubers who are in the fandom of Power Rangers and Tokusatsu. So, we had Geek Level Asian on that panel. And by the way, this was all orchestrated by the Power Ranger guy and, the Power Rangers group 365, Uncut, Media. They have a Facebook page. And they put this panel together with all of us who are YouTubers in the fandom. So you had myself, you had Geek Level Asian, you had Ranger Liz, you had Este. I love Este. His stuff is really cool. Heirloom and Orange Ranger videos. You had all of us on one panel together. And that was like my first panel as well. So it was really cool to be a part of that. And we just talked about, current projects. We talked about other Power Ranger news, as far as what to expect in 2021, which we all thought the title was going to be Dino Knights. I thought that would have been cool. Power Rangers Dino Knights, but it's actually Dino Fury. So we've had Jungle Fury. We've had, wasn't there another Fury? I don't know. I can't remember. But now we have Dino Fury. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with that new series. So it was just fun being a part of that panel and all of us just talking about what's going on with us currently and the brand and just other stuff Power Ranger related. One other thing when I think about Power Rangers Dino Fury, this is one of my hopes, and I'd love to hear from you guys on this. But one of the things I hope for is to see something like what they did with Mighty Morphin into Zeo and into Turbo. And if you get what I'm saying by that, I kind of mean there's so many good actors that we've had that have come through the seasons. And I'm like, man, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of them in some other capacity. You know what I mean? Versus just a cameo in another season or whatever. But I think it would be cool to see, maybe you have Brennan Mia or, you have some of the Beast Morpher actors who have a power transfer into the new Dino Fury. I think that would be really interesting. That's something I think would be really cool. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. But, there's just something about the continuity of characters I think is really interesting. And we haven't seen that in a long time where, a Ranger has had a power transfer. I would say since, the Zordon era, right? I could be wrong. There's some seasons I didn't watch, but that's something I think that would be really cool. So let me know what you guys think about that. And let me know what your thoughts are about Dino Fury in general. Are you guys excited for it? Have you watched the Sentai of, that season? Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious. I think the costumes, for one, look cool. I'm all about dinosaurs and stuff. I think all the Dino seasons have done pretty well. Mind you, I have not watched all of Dino Charge. I watched most of it, and I enjoyed what I seen. It wasn't bad. So I'm curious to see what they're bringing in 2021. So post your comments in the comments below. Let me know. So yeah, we got that. The new show. Man, Hasbro is going all out. I seen something teased before, about My Little Pony. And I don't know if it was real or not. But look, man, now you're going to have Power Ranger fans and the Bronies colliding with each other. This is crazy. We got the Bronies and we got Power Ranger fans all coming together. Hasbro, y'all are crazy, man. I don't know. And I can't wait for Dino Fury as well. Dino Fury is going to be really cool. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I really hope it's not teenagers, though. You know what I mean? Because, look, I'm getting close to 30. There's nothing wrong with teenagers, but, what I mean? It's cool. It'd be cool to see, some 30-year-old or late 20-year-old Power Rangers. Think of Time Force. They weren't teenagers, they were adults. You know what I mean? West was like pretty much Bruce Wayne, of Power Rangers. Like I think seeing more adult, kind of a take on Power Rangers would be cool. So I'm hoping that's a little something that we'll get in Dino Fury. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I don't want to see any more teenagers, man. Come on, teenagers with attitude. Teenagers are cool if they're done right, but I think we've seen it so much that it'd be nice to see some 40-year-old Power Rangers, or at least 30-year-old, or late 20s. You know what I mean? I want to see some Power Rangers go through some midlife crisis. How about that? Or have a team of Power Rangers where they're all different ages. You know what I mean? Like one of them is 5 years old, one of them's 20, one of them's 17, one of them's 30, and the other one's like 60 years old. How about that? Let me know what you think. I'm just kidding. That would be too crazy. But something a little bit older would be cool. Other than that, yeah, like so much Power Rangers news, man. I really haven't heard anything new about the upcoming movie. There can't be any children in these videos. She's trying to get me demonetized. My wife and daughter. They always make a cameo somehow in my videos.
You like it.
But other than that, yeah, man, there's hasn't been, I haven't heard too much news about the movie, because there's been talks about a new reboot, for, the Power Rangers movie, which is, I hear talks that it's supposed to be taking place in the 90s, and you have a group of Power Rangers from the future that have to go back to the 90s, which I think could be really interesting. And I think that could be a way that you bring back some of the original Rangers, or maybe you have that reunion thing with all the original cast. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Or maybe they just recast, the original characters in Mighty Morphin and have new actors play them. I don't know. But I think that whole time, thing would be interesting, and that's a way to bring in Time Force or Hyperforce and have them meet up with Mighty Morphin in other seasons and bouncing around and do something like they did in Endgame, where they went through different segments of time. You know what I mean? I think that would be interesting. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything new about the movie. If you guys have, let me know. But that's something I'm looking forward to in times to come. And what's going on in the world, this thing that's happening, right? It's definitely put a lot of changes to a lot of our social lives. So like conventions, man. Like I'm a huge fan of being at conventions. Like I had a plan. Like I wanted to be at some conventions, this year. Power Morphicon, I was looking forward to that. That got pushed back, obviously. And, I'm in Denver, so Denver Pop Culture Con, that's another big one that's out here. And, Nendesu Con and all these other different, conventions that take place. A lot of that stuff is obviously being put on hold. And the same is, for you guys, and wherever you are in the world. So my encouragement to you, don't be depressed over it. You know what I mean? Let this be a time where you're able to really utilize your time to work on other projects. Like for me, since I can't be at conventions, this is a time right now to get in better shape. This is a time to finish up other cosplay projects, other video projects. Use the time to do other things. You know what I mean? I heard the movie was for 15-year-olds next year. You heard the movie was for 15-year-olds? Well, I am 28 years old, and I hope they make that movie for the broader, spectrum of folks, not just 15-year-olds. I hope. We'll see. I don't know. But aside from all that, I really hope you guys are really doing good and taking care of yourselves. And yeah, stay healthy, man. But other than that, also I had a big project that I released not too long ago. It's doing pretty well. I wanted to get up higher. Before I release the second episode, I gotta start filming it. I pretty much have everything that I need. But Power Rangers House, really cool concept, something I've been putting together for a while, and it is up on my channel. So if you have not seen it, go ahead and check that out right after you're done watching this. Power Rangers House Episode 1. It's literally what the title is. It's a bunch of Power Rangers all living in one house. What could go wrong? You know what I mean? What could go wrong? I don't know, but you got to watch and find out. It's more of a comedic take, Power Rangers. I think we see so much of the action and so many different fan films, which are great. And for me, I wanted to do something a little bit different where it was I don't know how you guys feel about Teen Titans Go, but I like the concept of it. Where you have this group of superhero characters that everyone is familiar with, comics, but this show does its own thing and it's more comedic, than it is just story driven. And so that's something I wanted to do with Power Rangers, where I was like, I really have been thinking about this and inspired by RDC World 1 and a lot of the stuff that they've done. And I was like, I want to do something for the fandom of Power Rangers and make something new and unique. At first, I was going to call it Power Ranger Party, but I was like, I'm not going to have a party all the time. What's something that you can consistently do? And Power Rangers House is the thing. So if you have not seen it, like I said, after this video, go check it out, watch it, comment on it. Let's get that video up to 2K and above. It's almost there. We're at like 1,800 and some views. So once we get to 2K, I want to start dishing out, a little hints about the next episode. So I want to get that out as soon as possible. I will be working on episode 2 very soon. But aside from that, yeah, if you guys have any questions for me too, be sure to post them, in the comments, on this video or in any of my other videos, and I'll try to get back to you and answer your questions as much as I can. I don't go live that often, but it's something I want to start doing more just to converse with you guys. Sometimes I do have, obviously my scheduled planned videos, rather be skits or, Power Ranger reviews. Today, I'm like, I just want to connect and hang out and talk to you guys and see how everybody is doing. So I really do hope everyone is doing well. And wife, what do you do? What are you guys doing in there? My wife, she's always making noise.
Stella's coloring.
They always make noise. I call my family they're like a bunch of pack rats. They make noise whenever I do something. So I should have went into my area where I have my own little man cave. I don't know why I didn't go in there. Now the baby's crying. What is going on? But I hope you guys are doing well. And I thank you so much for hanging out with me. And like I said, go check out Power Rangers House episode 1. How many episodes will Power Rangers House have? Right now there are 3 strips written. So Power Rangers House, it's, most of them are going to be about 20 or a little over 20 minutes. So they're good, solid project episodes, that I want to get out for you guys. So it won't be like, oh, you're getting one every week. It's periodic because it takes time to film those. So right now you definitely have 3 episodes, and I will be working on, other ideas for, Power Rangers House episode 4 and so on. And I want to bring in more Rangers into the Power Rangers House, as time goes by. So a lot of cool surprises. Just wait and see. Got some really cool stuff. So can't wait to show you guys. A lot of fun stuff to come. But, Zachary Shiloh. I don't know if your question was answered in our panel, man. I don't know if you're watching this or not, or if you ever will watch this. But, that's why this is part of why I wanted to do this live tonight, too. So you asked a question for the panel, and I'll make sure I post this on my Instagram as well. But, what inspired a lot of, our introductions, for like our opening intros, for YouTube, and then kind of like advice for YouTube stuff in general. I think for me, for me personally, and I'll ask everyone else for you too, Zach, if you're watching. I just wanted to do something that was fun, something that was catchy, but nostalgia. I think nostalgia is kind of the main thing. That's kind of what I wanted to go for, when I think about my openers or, endings, end credit scenes or whatnot. Something that's catchy, fun, and nostalgic, and even when I first started doing YouTube stuff, I always wanted to do things where I've released videos on Saturday mornings because it was kind of this concept like when I was a kid and I watched Power Rangers or I watched cartoons and stuff, it would always be in the morning. I'd wake up, have my cereal, and watch my Saturday morning cartoons. And I was like, man, we don't have that today because everybody streams everything, at your own leisure. So that's something that was kind of inspired for me. Is just nostalgia. And so I'll be sure to post that in my stories. And tag everyone else that was in that panel so they can answer that question too. So Zach, if you I don't know if you watched the live or not, but I'll make sure that question gets answered by everyone else as well. Um, Other than that, who is this? Who is this? Cameron J. Smith, what's up? Thank you for tuning in, my friend. If you guys are on TikTok, I do a lot of crazy stuff. Can they do a Pony Power Rangers? Oh, yes, that's what I was going to talk. Did I mention that earlier? I think I did. Yeah, the Hasbro's already doing that. We have the Pony Power Rangers. So, there's the picture I've seen is like the Pink Ranger one. So that's what I was saying earlier. Is like you now have Power Ranger fans and the Bronies coming together. This is crazy. I'm not a Brony. I'm just letting y'all know I am not a Brony. No, nothing's wrong with that. If you're into Bronies, that's cool. If you're a Brony, do your thing. But I'm not into My Little Pony. But I think Hasbro's doing some interesting stuff, and it's not just Power Rangers. Like they have, the My Little Pony that's mixed in with Transformers, and My Little Pony that's mixed in with Power Rangers, and I think like GI Joe. So, and it makes sense, right? Because it's Hasbro, like they own all of those properties. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Let me know. Are you guys going to buy any of those My Little Pony Power Ranger crossover toys? I was looking through my box and I found a couple of MLP sculpts. Variety Pinky, Ranger, Ninja Steel Pink. Yeah, man. A lot of good collections. And not to talk, not to look over this too. Other toys, Lightning Collection. There's a lot of new stuff coming out. So you got the Red Time Force Ranger, you got the Zordon and Alpha, um, Psycho Green, Rita and Lord Zed looks pretty cool. For me personally, I only have a couple. I'm not. I love all the Lightning Collection. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of like the ones I have, I think I've Beast Morpher Red, I have Lord Draken, and I have the White Ranger. And the way I have is all of those cosplays, so I have the figurines, in my display cases, with all that stuff as well. So I'm not collecting all of them, but I love seeing everyone else's collection of them. There may be a couple more that I will get, but like Ranger Slayer. Ooh, if I see that one in stores, I may have to snag that one because Ranger Slayer is pretty damn cool. I do enjoy. I enjoyed her presence and her character, in the comics, and playing her on the video game is pretty fun too. So yeah, a lot of new stuff for Lightning Collection, man. Psycho Green is gonna be very cool. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the other Power Ranger news I could think of. I'm trying to watch more Tokusatsu as well, like Super Sentai, and there's different places to get into that. I do love Kamen Rider, so it's just finding the right places to watch it. You know what I mean? Websites too, that are legal, mind you. I watch all that stuff legal because it's hard to find stuff that's overseas and a good website. It's just finding the right channel. I think there's one called Tubi. There used to be one anime. No, Kiss Asian. I don't know if they're still active or not, but and I've not seen Ryu Soldier, not yet. But I've heard good things about it. I've heard a lot of people liked it. Which gives me hope for what's to come. For the adaptation of Power Rangers. But again, like we were talking about in our panel today, I really hope they don't do a thing where they try to copy and paste the story, like the bulk kind of imprints of the story of the Sentai into Power Rangers. Like, I hope they have their own original story, to where it's not so similar. You know what I mean? I think that that's always cool, and I've always appreciated that. Obviously, there's gonna be some similarities that do carry on because there's a lot of that it's been going on since the beginning of time for Power Rangers, right? Like they've always used, the Sentai and some of the footage. So parts of the story, the gist of it is gonna bleed out into that season. So that's just expected. But yeah, haven't seen it, but I've heard good things, and I'm excited to see what comes. Other than that, any questions that you have for me, type them below, and I will do my best to answer all of those questions. Yes, yes, yes. And um, the MMPR Power Morpher with new features that the panel today. We did. Um, and, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody in the panel, they were one in the 90s. You know, if you have the 1993 one, that one's a little more accurate. Would like to see a Zeo Ranger 5, the Red Ranger Zeo helmet. Like a Lightning Collection helmet of that. Like what they did with White Ranger. We see a lot of Mighty Morphin, but Zeo gets overlooked for how damn cool it was. Zeo was a great season. So that's something that I would want to see is kind of like I think that would be cool. I'm just throwing Hasbro. I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there now. But yeah, man, so much going on. I hope to see the Lightning Collection do Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 5 Ranger helmets. Same with Zero Turbo and it's you know. So I don't know, but in space would be really really cool. I would really like to see that. Um, yeah. What other questions you guys got? Anything Ranger related? Anything at all? Make sure it's appropriate. But other than that, yeah, ask away, man. Any questions you got about me, Facebook, Twitter, Google? I don't know. Follow me on all those places. Same name, Zentai Fit. I made a Hyperforce Morpher out of a model magic clay. Ooh. You'll have to, I don't know if you can post pictures on here or not, but that sounds really cool. A buddy of mine that, uh, you know, has been following me on YouTube and all across social media for a while. Good artist too. His name is Hyperboy Blue. Um, he has he's like one of you know many Hyperforce cosplayers. Are you gonna do the OG Blue Ranger or Black Ranger cosplay? Um, you know, I do Dragon Dagger. You knew shit was about to. Anything about YouTube? Any other movies? What other movies after this live is done? But other than that, you know, I can't think of